Welcome back to Desk Careers. I'm so excited to be zooming around the world to my favorite country, Canada, where we're going to be meeting Ava and Janani, both calling in from Halifax. I'm very excited to be introducing students in a completely different part of the world, learning through a different system, and beginning to understand the similarities that young people have regardless of where they are learning, and also some of the challenges that you might be facing that some of our students haven't even considered when they're thinking about creating their future career pathway. So I'm very, very excited about today's conversation. And of course, we're going to be talking about Interact. Now, we've just launched Interact at Desk. We're very excited to have that started. And I know that you have Interact at Charles P. Allen, which is the secondary school that you're both attending. So we're really, really excited. Let's begin. Janani, can you talk to us? I know that one of your aspired professional title is that you want to be studying sciences and you're currently doing an IB program. Now, what do you want to be doing with these sciences? So when you think about your future career aspirations, where do you think that you want science to be taking you to?
Well, I'm very interested in science research, and I've always been interested in experimentation, and I've been participating in science fairs for a while. So I would really be interested in possibly pursuing graduate studies and becoming a researcher, or leaving open the option to study medicine if that's something I'm interested in the future. But in the near future, I'd like to study life sciences at university, so maybe like biochemistry or neuroscience or a subject similar to that.
Very interesting. And I know, Ava, that you're also interested in the sciences, but you have pinpointed it into going down the medical path and considering pharmacology. Why and how did you make this decision at such a young age?
So I've had role models in my life. I have family members who have done medicine or dentistry. So I have seen how they have studied and how their careers work. And it interested me to pursue a similar career myself because I saw how inspiring it was to be able to make a change as, for example, a doctor or as a dentist. And I am leaving open the option for pharmacology because although I am interested in practicing medicine like in a clinical setting, I am also interested in research as well, because recently, like with the IB program, we've been learning a lot of sciences, and it's interesting for me to perhaps be participated in also like a research setting. And that's why I also considered potentially pharmacology as well, or pharmacy.
Incredible. Now, Janani, I know that you've highlighted certain subjects like biology, chemistry, psychology, and English. How do you see these subjects coming together, and what are the common patterns in these subjects that keep you interested?
I would say, well, biology and chemistry are sciences, but in the IB program, they do feel a bit different. Chemistry feels in some ways a bit more like math because there are lots of like problems that you have to solve, while biology is more just understanding and kind of learning the content. And I would say psychology feels quite similar to that as well. But English, on the other hand, isn't really something you can prepare for in an exam. You sort of have to just learn the skills and be ready to apply that to write an essay on your exam. So I would say the subjects give you a wide variety of different skills, which can definitely be useful when you're going into post-secondary education or just looking for a career in general.
What would you say, Ava, has been, I know that you mentioned having role models in your family and in your life, but what would you say has been the go-to tip or go-to strategy to keep you resilient through your studies?
So I would say that although it's cliche, you have to really enjoy what you're studying, and you have to enjoy studying itself. So you have to be motivated to learn something. For example, biology and chemistry, though they are challenging subjects, especially in the IB program, and then taking it at the higher level also, because I enjoyed them a lot, I find it enjoying to study for those subjects. And I feel like that will also apply in my later education and post-secondary school and like an undergraduate program, and then later on in the graduate program, and even throughout life, because we always have to continue learning.
Incredible. Would you agree with those, Janani? I see you nodding. Do you agree with what Ava is saying? Is that similar for you?
Definitely. I think when you really enjoy what you're studying, it shouldn't feel like homework. It should feel like something exciting that you're doing. And so that would be advice I would definitely give to anyone. Make sure you're pursuing something that you genuinely are interested in, and then you won't find it hard to put in the time and effort.
Let's talk a little bit about careers education. Now, here at Dubai English Speaking College, we have an incredible service called Desk Careers, and that service helps our students discover careers and gain skills to become work ready and really begin to identify not just what they want to study, but actually the return on investment for studying those subjects. What kind of support do you have at your school in Halifax?
So one thing that we do have is we have like guidance counselors who can provide you with information about like different career paths if you go to see them. And they also like go around to our classes to do presentations about university options and a bit about like careers and that sort of thing.
And Ava, how about you? What kind of services do you use? So I know that you're both at the same school, but how do you use these services?
So it's quite easy at our school to book a guidance appointment. For example, we have on our website a section where you can easily just like submit a form, and it's really quick. You just have to like put your name and your email. And they do have a lot of they provide a lot of their time, so you don't have to wait too long for a meeting. You can just get it like the next day, for example. And I have found it quite useful, especially for making decisions regarding universities, because they do have a lot of information on that. Maybe not perhaps graduate studies, but they do have information on undergraduate, and especially in our own province. So they'd be very informed on those topics. And personally, I have made meetings with my guidance counselor to ask them about some aspects of the application process and admissions, although I was able to also ask the specific universities, but I was also able to ask like some generic questions from guidance counselors as well.
Okay, I'm going to bring it now to the topic of interact. We have students that have taken on these roles and they're working diligently towards creating projects that can give back to the community and bringing together our school community as well as our international community, which has brought us together. Our international relations, Jana, brought us together. So what are some of the projects that you're working at currently at Interact in your school?
So we have had several projects throughout this year. We just started at the beginning of this school year. And so we have kind of like made a plan to carry out like not projects at the same time, but kind of like in a sequence. So after we complete one project and put all our effort into that, we start the next one. So we ensure our focus is on one thing and we do it well. So far, we have had a handful of projects. We've had around 4. First of all, we had, it was close to Halloween time, for example, and we were thinking of, we knew it had been previously done, and we thought of doing it ourselves as well because it was a really good idea and it's a really good initiative that works well. So we thought of when going to houses, we can like knock on doors and we can ask them to donate food for the local food bank. So our local food bank is Feed Nova Scotia. And so we gathered a group of students and we went in our respective neighborhoods and we asked the neighbors, and they were very generous and they gave a lot of donations. So it turned out quite well. So how we gather these students to help us? Well, in our school, we do have like a way of advertising our clubs. So our student council, for example, like they can post it on their Instagram, or they can mention it in the announcements. So we have like a designated room that we meet once or twice, sometimes a week. And it's always like during lunchtime, so everyone is able to come. We also kind of advertised ourselves as well by like putting posters around the school. And we were able to recruit quite a few members, which just comes to show that there are a lot of students in our school community who want to give back.
That's incredible. Janani, what are you most proud of being a co-president?
Well, it's definitely very inspiring to see how much change we've made in the school. In past years, there have been other like community service type clubs and interact clubs at our school, but I think we've definitely raised quite a bit of money this year for different charities. And given the coronavirus, it's also really incredible that we've been able to participate in these activities. Now, we do have far fewer cases in Nova Scotia, so that's why we were able to do things like go to house. But still, it was definitely inspiring to see how much money we've raised and how many students are interested in volunteering and community service.
Amazing. So for anybody watching this right now that doesn't really understand what Interact is, Ava, how would you sum it up? What does Interact mean for you?
For me, it means giving back to community, whether it's local, not just necessarily local, but also like national and even international. So that would be the basic thing surrounding it. And for me, it involves like putting some time and effort, and obviously not thinking just about yourself, and recognizing some of the struggles that people are going through, whether it's close to you or whether it's on the other side of the world. And not only recognizing those struggles, but also trying to think of, no matter even like how small, trying to think of ways that you can use your own ability to help them.
Janani, why would a student want to participate? They're busy. You're a busy student. You have a lot to do, especially when we're thinking about preparing our portfolios for university and really thinking about, you know, keeping up with our homework, test taking, and so on and so forth. Why would a student want to get involved if they were already so busy?
Well, I think there are a few reasons for sure. Firstly, it's really important to try to help others if you can. So I think just on a human level, we should really try to address issues within our community and recognize that there are others who are less fortunate, both locally and in like our larger global community. And so if we as young people can do something to try and help them, even if that's a small little project, we should really try to do that. But secondly, participating in these types of community service projects also gives you lots of skills, which you can then take to other careers or universities. They're transferable skills. So as co-presidents, we've definitely learned a lot about budgeting, about like writing project proposals, promoting events and projects. And those are all really important skills. So even if you're not in a leadership position within the club, you could still participate in activities which help you grow as an individual. And then thirdly, universities and employers are definitely looking for individuals who are well-rounded and who have all of these skills. So you can definitely put this on your resume, and it's just really a great idea to get involved in Interact.
Janani, Ava, thank you so much for being with me here today and bringing Interact, Charles P. Allen, to Deaf Careers and Interact at Deaf. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you, and we are so excited to be collaborating with your school. And that brings us to the end of an incredible conversation. Today we met with Janani and Ava, who were zooming in from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and they were talking to us not only about Interact at their school, but also about their personal aspirations in their future career aspirations. It was such a pleasure meeting you both, and we'll see you all at our next Deaf Careers Digital Spotlight.